Good morning, good morning. Good morning, guys. How you doing? This is Venus with no mess. I just want to hop on here and I just want to say violence is common. Look like they're becoming our daily activity now. We had another mass shooting in Alabama last night, and we had some of our young ones is affected by this, and it's all over again. Two group of people started shooting at each other, and I asked myself, why is they shooting around kids? Why do you have to go out and act a fool? But guys, I'm gonna let y'all listen to this, and they supposed to be having an update at noon, so I'm gonna get through this so I can see if I can get in touch with someone down in Alabama and see what I found out. Okay, I'm gonna get to it now, guys. Hold on a second.
Shooting has rocked Alabama's capital city overnight. I'm Simon Schuessler, a reporter with WSFA 12 News out of Montgomery, Alabama. Here's what we know as of 7 a.m. Sunday morning. 2 people are dead among 14 shot in the heart of downtown Montgomery. This happened around 11:30 p.m. Saturday night on the corner of Bibb and Commerce Street. 2 juveniles were shot and 3 of the injured are critical. Montgomery's police chief says this is not a typical mass shooting. It was 2 groups firing at one another in the midst of a large crowd. And to give just an idea of how brazen officials say this attack was, Mayor Stephen Reed says when the shooting happened, there were police within 50 feet of each side of the shooting. And there's a ton of events going on in Montgomery this weekend. I'm talking about Alabama State University's homecoming, the Tuskegee Morehouse Classic, and the Alabama National Fair. So thousands of people had traveled to Alabama's capital city. And the police chief also says that people are being interviewed in connection with this incident and guns have been recovered. And the Montgomery Police Department will be holding another press conference at noon Central Time today. So stay tuned to WSFA for the latest updates in connection with this.
Okay, guys, this is really it's getting out of hand. It's like I said before, it's our young ones that are going away from here every day because of someone else decide they don't want to live. And I'm like the mayor said down there, if you don't want to live, you just go ahead on here and stand in front of cars, stand on the train track. I always say that. And I'm not trying to be harsh with no one. If you don't want to live, won't you go ahead and do what you have to do and stop all this shooting all the time and killing our innocent kids? And like he always said, well, if he catch you, he gonna make a example out you. So you mothers and fathers out here, listen to what I have to say. This mess that your kids are going out here getting mad with someone and shooting someone for no reason that have nothing to do with your conversation, your argument, your disagreement with the other group, and you kill some innocent person, then you commit that crime, then you need to do that time. And mothers and fathers, I'm also tell you too, and sisters and brothers, I don't care who it is. I would not be putting my house up for no one. You go out here, you kill somebody, guess what? You pull the time. And I wouldn't even I wouldn't even go in the courtroom and sit in the back of the courtroom with you. I wouldn't. So you could do it if you want, but I wouldn't put up not one property, not one house, and not one of my cars to get my kids out of jail. You commit the crime, you will do the time. You commit the crime, you do the time. Because this is getting crazy every day. And it's getting to the point now, like I said before, U.S. is called the murder capital, whether you're young or not. Oh, U.S., United States, yes, we are the murder capital right now. So a lot of y'all guys listen to all this stuff on social media, internet. You need to do some research. Like I said, stated yesterday, we have young ones getting killed every day. You might not hear about it every day. Then we have people walk around, well, it's not happened to me, it's not happened in my hometown. But see, the attitude that you have, it's just like the guys went to the game last night. Some of them probably had the same attitude. They won't worry about no killing at all. But when they got to the game, guess what? Those fools that they started shooting, guess what? And some of them got hit. I always tell people, watch what come out your mouth. When you say, well, I don't care, I'm not worrying about that. As long as it don't happen to me. But those same little fools out here that doing shooting will shoot you and one of yours. And then what you going to do then? Yeah, but give them life. Give them life all you want. Ain't going to bring your loved one back. This is what I'm trying to say. So guys, we got to pull together. And I'm here trying to focus on our young ones. Put the guns down. This is crazy. Put the guns down. You got a baby in the hospital fighting for his life. Don't even know what life all about because some young little stupid fool out here pulling the trigger. And then when he go to court, first thing his mama and daddy and family gonna say, well, he came up in a rough family and he got mental problem. No. I'm like the mayor and I'll be like the president. You do the time just like you don't kill that person can't come back. You don't need to come back. Mother and father, I'm sorry to say it, that's your child. You should have done what you had to do to raise that child and make sure that child had discipline and self-control. These kids is out of control out here now. And like I said before, yes, a whole lot of them out of control. But when they get to a certain age, they need to use common sense. Because if you got common sense to go out here and buy a gun and pull that doggone trigger back, you got common sense to say you walk in the house. Like old folks said, I don't want to hear that mess about, the way he was brought up and he had a rough childhood. Well, you know what? If he don't kill somebody and the way he brought up and had a rough childhood, then he don't need to be in society. We just need to go ahead and eliminate him. I'm sorry. I'm getting sick of it. I'm fed up with it. I am fed up with them hurting our babies. I'm fed up with guys. So hold on a second. I got another one I want to show y'all guys. I'm going to cool down for a little bit. Just hold on, guys.
in the evening, units responded to a mass shooting event at the corner of Bibb and Commerce Street. We have confirmed that there are 14 victims who have been shot. Of those victims, 2 are deceased, 3 are life-threatening, and 9 are non-life-threatening at present. And as I compose myself in relation to this senseless act of violence, I'm going to state specifically that we will use every resource. We will stay up all night. We will do whatever we need to do. We will basically use every resource to charge and hold the people responsible who were involved in this offense. Now, we have our partners from ALEA working with us, and I am incredibly thankful for their support. We also have partners from ATF working with us. I am also thankful for that. We are using every technological resource we have. We are using every detective that we have and every bit of evidence that we are collecting now to sort out what has been a tragic and chaotic event that took place earlier tonight. I want to say that my heart is weeping for the families. I'm also going to say that I am incredibly angry. I am so angry that I'm holding on to my composure right now, because this was not a typical mass shooting that people typically read about. This was 2 parties involved that were basically shooting at each other in the middle of a crowd. I know enough to say that right now. Now, while I am limited in some of the information that I can release, I'm releasing that because the people who did what they did, who are responsible for opening fire on each other like that, did not care about the people around them when they did it. And now we have 14 people who have been shot. 2 of them, like I stated earlier, deceased. We will not rest until we get you. Now, I will also state that we have some individuals that we are interviewing. And if it does turn out that those people being interviewed are connected, they will be charged if the evidence supports that. And we will do everything we need to gather every bit of evidence and chase down whoever is involved. So I want to make that unequivocal. I am not sleeping tonight. I'm not sleeping till we get this. My people aren't sleeping. You can see them behind me working. So I am definitely wanting the public to know that.
Just want to say on behalf of the city that we're praying for the victims of this atrocity, praying for their families, their friends, praying for our city. Thousands of people have been in this city this weekend, and it only took 1 or 2 to change the entire outcome. From the state fair to other events that we had going all around the city, with law enforcement doing a great job protecting and serving this community across multiple locations. People have to have a respect for life. They have to have a respect for the lives of others. And to have a heinous event like this take place prior to midnight in the busy part of our entertainment district is reckless and it's selfish. You don't care about your life, go jump off a bridge. You don't pull out a gun and shoot in a crowd of people. And I think what Chief said is dead on. We're going to use every resource we have to bring all those involved in this to justice, whether it's tonight, whether it's tomorrow, whether it's next week, or whether it's next month. We won't rest because we're going to do what we can to not only make those victims feel some level of relief that those who brought this situation upon them as just being innocent folks, having a good time like thousands of others, but also for those who won't get a chance to say goodbye to their family member, to their friend, to their neighbor, their church member. It's unacceptable. It's not something that we're going to tolerate. And we're going to push the full max that we can once we capture them. And we're going to make sure that we set an example, and we set a public example of people who continue to endanger the lives of innocent people in our community. It's just not going to be accepted. It's not fair to people who are here having innocent good time. It's not fair to the business owners who invest all around the city to make the city and the region better. It's not fair to the community to have to worry and think about things like this happening in the way that they did. So we're not going to accept it. We're not going to tolerate it. And we're going to do everything we can to the max to make sure that there's a public example set for those that brought this about and for those that are behind this. These are things that we cannot normalize. These are things we're not going to ever think that they just happen, because they don't have to happen. And we have to make sure that those that are witnesses to this come forward, share what they know with our police department, share what they know with our law enforcement partners, so we can bring this to closure. And we're going to continue to do everything we can to make this city safer. And we're going to continue to do everything we can to make sure that more bad guys are taken off the street, and that when they're taken off the street, they're kept behind bars, particularly those that are repeat violent offenders. We're going to continue to do that. And this is a situation that we don't ever want any community to have to deal with, much less ours. It's not what we want to be dealing with. And for those that have brought this out because of their rash behavior and because of their lack of self-control, they ought to be held accountable, and they will be.
Okay, guys, I'm back. And I agree 100% with him. We need to hold each and every one of the ones accountable for that mistake. Didn't I tell you it's lack of self-control? I've been saying this on my channel for a very long time. A lot of this is a lack of self-control. And soon the young kids get in trouble. They get a defense lawyer. Defense lawyer go talk to the parents. The defense lawyer already know the house is dysfunction anyway, because they can tell when they start talking to the mother and father. And then the first thing they want to say, well, he was raised up and he didn't have this, and you know he was mistreated when he was a child, and his mom and daddy was in his life. I don't want to hear that stuff. I don't want to hear. I'm like him. I don't want to hear it. Okay. Because like he said, if you don't want to live and you want to hurt yourself, go jump off a bridge. I always said, if you don't want to live, go stand in front of a train. Why are you going to take a gun and go in a crowd of people because you don't like the other group over there and start shooting and innocent people get hurt? And I agree with them. Catch them. Whatever you can do, Mayor, President, anybody, catch them. They need to be taken off the street. They need to be out of society. They do not need to get a parole or nothing. And when anyone talking to me right now, when you see those 4 or 5 people sitting there with time for those guys to come up for parole, and they deny that parole, that's what they need to. Because I'm getting sick and tired of folks going to jail Out for 20 years, you want to go in front of the parole board so that you can come out. For what? That person that you killed and put in the grave can't come back. So the Bible said you take a life, you give a life. So you took somebody's life, then you need to give up yours. I don't understand that. Especially when they start hurting innocent kids that have nothing to do with the situation. And those guys went there, they had guns. Okay? So in back of their mind, they planned to do that. Why did you go there to shoot? If you have a problem with another group and had any idea that group were going to be there, stay home. Because if you went there and the group had guns and you had guns, both of you guilty. Because if I have to go somewhere and I know someone is upset with me, and if I have to carry my weapon, I'm not going. What am I going for? I don't need to go. Whoever those guys was that went to that football game, that's whatever they had last night, it was a game. Whoever that two group was, they had time to think about it. They had time to think about it. The same way they pulled that weapon and took it, they had time to think about it. No, but they want to be all big and bad. They want to be big and bad. So you know what? When they catch them, I would give them life without parole. I don't care who it is. And if I was the mother, father, anybody in the family, I would not be putting my house up to get nobody out of jail. And I said, and I always told my two daughters, you go to jail, you're going to sit there. And I'm going to let you sit there and let you have all the time to think about what you did wrong. So when you come home, you won't do it again. But see, I didn't have a problem with my two. And we got the grandkids. I don't have the problem with the grandkids because I sit down and told them. I didn't go out here, work hard, bounce around from apartment to house and couldn't afford to take care of myself and my daughters for them to go out here and give birth to you to act a fool. I didn't do that. I taught mine the right way. Okay? I brought them up the best way I could. They went out here and they gave me 6 grandchildren. And I sit down and talk to each one of them. Don't you think that we're going to get you out if you go to jail? You go there, you will sit there. Because nobody in this family went out here to work hard to be giving money to a defense lawyer. Because like I said before, I told mine, defense lawyer work for the court. You work for the court. They work for the court. They only work for the court. They work for the court. They all work for the court. They the same thing. We did not go out here to work to get you out of jail. So if you go to jail, you will sit there. Now, if someone if they are there coming home from work, or they're going to the store, and somebody try to threaten to hurt them, and they try to protect themselves, and we find out it's self-defense, then I'll think about it. But you go out here and commit a crime just because you don't like somebody, or just because you are there with the wrong crowd, then you know what? You just stay in jail. Stay in jail. Not on our side. We don't do that. We don't. We go strictly by what the Bible said. We don't do that on our end. But get back to this. Like they say, U.S. is called the murder of the capital right now, guys. Whether you're young or old. So I hope some young folks are looking at this. And like I told y'all guys before, young people, put the weapon down. It's not worth it, baby. Put the weapon down, guys. Put the weapon down. You don't have nothing to prove to no one out here. I know a lot of young people out here feel, well, my buddy is out here. I'm running out with my friend. You don't prove. If you have a friend, young folks, and they have to carry a weapon with them all the time, you don't need to be with them. You don't need to be with those type of people. For what? You don't need to be with those type of people. You just leave them alone. Because those are the ones going to get you thrown in jail for the rest of your life. And guess what? You go out here and you commit a crime with someone and you get caught up in the system and for and they walked away, guess what? You're going to be in jail for a very long time. And guess what? They're going to move on with that life. First thing they can say, oh, shorty, oh, my buddy, oh, my buddy took care of business. But guess what? You're going to be sitting behind their bars in prison, and they're going to move on with their life. And even if you spend 40 years in jail and you get out, you'll be much older than you is, of course. But guess what? They don't bought a house. They don't bought a car. They don't have kids. They have grandkids. And they're going to move on with their life. And when you come home and you try to talk to them, hey, G, what's up? They're going to tell you, I don't do that no more. I changed, man. I'll give my life to God. But they don't mess up your life. So that's why I'm saying, young people, think before you act. Think before you act, guys. We have to. So young people, I just want to say, if you are lacking discipline, there are resources for you. There are resources for you guys. So I'm going to get off of here because they said they're going to have an update afternoon. So I want to, get more information. If I get any information on this case right here, I would definitely come back. But I just want to hop on here. I just got out of service and I was driving down the road and I heard that after I dropped the young lady off, the teenager off. But I just wanted to come on here and say, young people, please be careful. Be careful out here. Because these ones right here that did the shooting last night, they going down. They're going to give them the max. They already said they're going to make an example out there. Okay? And on the way down the road when I heard this, I thought about Job. In the scriptures, Job 19:7 said, look, I keep crying out violence, but I get no answer. I keep crying for help, but there are no justice. I just keep going in back of my head. I just keep saying the same thing that Job said. I keep crying out, but then I also have to say what the scripture said too, when God tells us just hold on just a little bit longer. Just hold on just a little bit longer. So guys, I wanted to just come and share this with you, my young folks, to tell you guys that if you even have a question, say, how did all this evil and violence start? There's a scripture at Genesis chapter 6, 5, and 11. And go read that and they will explain to you how all this mess started. But just because Satan was kicked out of heaven in 1914 and he down here causing all this chaos, that do not, I'm going to repeat, that do not give you permission or right to commit a crime. Because Satan is the one that have the demons, and he's the one that have the problem with our Heavenly Father. So you do not have the right to take anyone's life. You don't give it, and you shouldn't take it. So stop the crime, young people. Even older people, middle-aged people, I don't care, just stop the crime. Put the weapon down. So guys, I'm going to get off here right quick, and I'm going to update y'all guys later if I hear anything. So please, guys, be careful who you come in contact with. Be careful who you have in your company. And always remember, love, patience, and peace. Until next time, guys. Thank you.